Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Taurus, we are working with the Dark Mirror Oracle deck this week. I've already pulled some cards out here, Taurus. A very interesting energy we have here. I'm looking at your energy like currently, and then we're looking at things in the future for you. And the things that we're looking at currently, like I want to ask, what have you been working on? What have you been healing? What is starting to blossom in your life? And then in the future, I'm going to ask, what will you finish working on? What will be healed and what will be ready to harvest? So, it's kind of give you a snapshot of where you are right now and where you're going to kind of find success in the future with how you are working through things. You currently, what you've been working on is Queen of My World. So king or queen, whatever feels right for you. So this is, when things are difficult around you, when things like on the outside of your world, and we're talking about internal world and exterior world. So you've been working on when your exterior world is not showing up in the way that, you would expect it to or hope that it would. You're been working on maintaining like an interior integrity with yourself. Yeah. So say hi. Oh, you get a little tummy. It's okay. We all get one. We all get one. He was spoiled. We went up to my mom's for the March break, and my neighbor across the street was coming in a couple times a day. Actually, she even spent some time working here from home one day to spend time with him. Isn't that so sweet? I think she was giving him a lot of his poached fish. No, not the cards. Not the cards. So he is getting a little bit of a tummy. Did she spoil you? She kept saying, he's so cute. He's so cute. He stole my heart. You're stealing hearts, Larry? Oh, yeah. Those people. You suck up to them. They give you lots of food. To buy you more poached fish. All right. As I said, when your exterior world is not showing up in a way that you would like it to, that you hoped that it would, when there's difficulties or strife, you're trying to maintain like an internal integrity. You're trying to not be affected externally, by things that, you can't control. Obviously, that's what you've been working on. It's nice energy. Now, what have you been healing is parasite energy. So you could be working on certain relationships or certain dynamics here where there's an unhealthy give and take in it, or maybe somebody's giving more than another person, or another person is receiving more than someone else in that relationship. So there's something that was going on here, or there's been a habit where you've been finding yourself in relationships or situations that you might define as parasitic in some way. Somebody's getting more than another here. It's a type of codependency, right? Too, that isn't healthy. That isn't healthy. Like, I mean, me and Larry, me and Lily, we all got a codependency going on here. Sometimes I need purrs and they need fluffy love. And then like they need poached fish and grilled chicken. So, right? So we work together on that, right, Larry? Giving me such a look like, it should all be about me right now. That we love you, Larry. Oh my God, I cuddled you for 3 hours last night on the couch. I literally did. He acts like he didn't get any love when the camera's on. I swear. Okay, so that's what you've been healing. And maybe too, I think this is even some sort of accountability for your life. You're like, you know what? I am stepping up here and I am going to be the one who really takes control, who is really responsible for how I feel inside and what's going on in my life here. What's starting to blossom? Atonement. This is such a big card. Atonement is starting to blossom for you, Taurus. Atonement is where it just needs to be right, okay? It gets to the point in some relationship, where it just needs to be right. We just need to fix this. And it's not taking on the responsibility of this is what's starting to blossom. So it's something that is starting to work for you, okay? It's not always about, especially when you have this connected right beside it with the parasite, when we want to make something right, it's not always about deciding who owes us what, or who we owe what to who. It's it's kind of taking what maybe, well, I know I can do that burden right now, and I'm gonna make things better. Maybe this is something you've been doing with the parasite energy. Maybe this is something like where you've been, I'm gonna take all the blame for this, or I'm gonna take, yeah. I'm kind of seeing that now, huh? That's starting to, like, it's almost like when it's blossom, like, kind of realize here. I feel like you've either been in relationships or situations where somebody has been benefiting more than you in that relationship. And it's almost kind of like you've maybe been made to feel guilty if you've spoken up, or if you've said, I need a little bit of time for myself to do something, or I don't know. Because atonement, yeah, that's starting to blossom. I think you're starting to figure something out here. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, before we get into the future, I want to show you this underline. You have anger in chains, and then you have alone in the world. And then you have peaceful among thorns, and then blinded to pain. There's something about this reading that feels like you're really not like resonating or jiving with the outside world. Something feels off here. Either like if maybe everybody wants to fight, or everybody wants to focus on where they're kind of like restrained. They have lack of movement or freedom, right? Because it's like you're turning your back on like this energy of anger and constraint, which I feel like is like the outside world, because we're talking about that right here. What you've been working on is this queen of your world, and you feel like you're alone in the world. You feel like you're alone in the world, so you will be queen of your own world. That's what you're working on. There's something really, poignant about what's going on. Like when I say what's going on in the world, it could be the world in general. It could be like your work. It could be your neighborhood. But it's like, I'm not like this. I'm not this person. I'm not focusing on that. I'm, because then this is the thing too, like being peaceful among the thorns. And the thorns is like the outside world that can have a lot of strife. There can be a lot of conflict. This peaceful among thorns is interesting though, because it always talks about the importance of not expecting spirituality to be the be all and end all of everything. And maybe I'll read you from the book so you kind of get what they're saying about that. Because then it goes to blinded to pain. This is the underline. I feel like there's some aspect of spirituality here. Maybe you've tried to turn away from your own anger. You know, it's kind of funny. Like, yeah, the Tauruses that I've known have always seemed to want to, I don't know if want to, but they just seem to naturally kind of dissipate their anger, or they don't get angry. Or they don't show it. I think everybody gets angry from time to time. They don't show it, because that could even be like you're turning away. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to almost to some extent isolate yourself from the world to find peace. But then it almost feels like a bit of over-isolating to blinded to pain. Not like you're experiencing, but you're sacrificing yourself. You've been sacrificing yourself. And you're trying to heal this parasite. Guys, even look at that. The flies, they're kind of like parasites. They're attached to her and they're living off of her blood. I know, it's a creepy card. Yeah. Interesting deck. I don't know why I picked this deck this week. The world is kind of heavy, and I look at this deck and I'm like, oh, is this energy too heavy? Can I do it? Can I do a whole week of this? I can do it. I just feel like it was, I don't know, I was drawn to do it. So I feel like Spirit wants to just kind of show us, you know, what we're doing and how we're going. Yeah, because this is like, this is growth, right? Like these are the kind of readings that are showing us our growth, helping us get through periods of difficult growth too. So yeah, I don't know, the parasite, you're blinded to something that was parasiting you. it's almost like sacrificing yourself too much, or trying to be the peacekeeper too much as well. And by always being peaceful, it's kind of like, well, don't swat at the flies. You don't want to upset them. Because there's something here, too, about like calling out the parasite. And, well, you should apologize for that. Why are you making me feel like that? So I don't know. Okay, underline, that's past. So let's put it there. If we look into the future, this is interesting. What will you finish working on in the future? You have the masquerade card. So there's a way here that you've been showing up that really isn't authentic to yourself. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to get angry. I just feel like there's something here that you shouldn't have to apologize for. It does look like keeping a lot of self kind of bottled up. In whatever way you haven't been showing up, which, okay, this has been pretty fascinating so far this week too, because this is now what you've been working on. And in the future, what will you finish working on? You see how interesting this is? Because this is about the authenticity within yourself, like really understanding that. And not that authenticity not being attached to anything outside, like really understanding who and what that is. And if there's things in your world you can't control, well, it's almost like your own self-development. You have control over that. So the masquerade, in terms of how you haven't been showing up, I feel like whatever's going on internally in the future, people are going to see a lot more of that externally. There's an emotional thing here, though, that I feel like you're having trouble dealing with. But because you're going to see in a second why I say that. But I also feel like it's attached to this underlying of trying to keep some sort of peace, or trying to do something here, and you do it to such an extent where you actually end up harming yourself by keeping some type of peace here. Somebody's feeding off you. Somebody has, because you have the parasite card too. Somebody's been feeding off of you. And it's almost like almost treating it like, well, a baby. You know, like if you're a woman and you're breastfeeding your baby. I used to always joke from the time I was pregnant, he's my little parasite. It was. He's sucking the life right out of me. And he kept doing it for like a couple years after. Like sucking everything out of me. But that's a mother-child relationship at an early stage. Like, right? At an early stage. So it could be a relationship between you and an adult child that you have, and it's like they need to stop feeding from the teat, right? But not wanting to, it's just trying not, like, don't swat them off of you. Don't swat them off of you, right? Well, that would be really disruptive to the flies. That would bother the flies. The flies, it would cause a real kerfuffle to the flies. Because, okay, what will be healed? I won't cry for you. What will be healed is I won't cry. I think you've been directing some type of sympathy towards someone that you shouldn't. Yeah, you've been directing some type of sympathy or empathy towards a person or situation that you shouldn't. And this situation or person has been benefiting from the relationship they had with you more than you were benefiting. If anything, I would say it's not even benefiting it. It's almost like detrimental. And you taking the biggest blame for it. Okay, so this is also interesting because, right, like she's crying these tears of blood in this picture. I won't cry for you. And then is all this blood is what these flies are feeding off of on her, right? So don't feel sorry for someone who's been feeding off you. That's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to heal. Don't feel sorry for people feeding off of you. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. I'm glad you're working on this queen of your world thing. Stop, right? Stop the masquerade. Really stand up for yourself here on something. What will be ready to harvest? The artificial heart. Now, I took a minute with this. So this is also why I'm pulling out. It's interesting. As I said, I took a minute. I looked at the camera. It was 15:15. I don't know what that means. But it was just like in my face. So I thought I'd mention it. Artificial heart. This card, as I said, I take time with these. That's why I pull them out ahead of time, because there's a lot that goes in with these cards. And this can be about, you know, not wanting to feel things because we're making that choice, or maybe that's easier. But I want to, it's not, this card is not coming across to me in that way in your reading. It was just 1551. Why is that happening? There's something to do with the number 15 and maybe 51 in Israel, because then that was a mirrored number. It was a repeat number, and then I went up again with this, and the screen was 1551. We're at 16. Repeat numbers and then mirrored numbers. Maybe this is mirroring. Harvest, an artificial heart. Because I feel like you need to not feel sorry for someone here. There's someone here you need to not feel sorry for. This person, I feel like something's taking advantage of you. You're realizing that? There might be a bit of people pleaser in you. And I'm not, okay, that's interesting. I'm kind of being shown like a story in that, where this people pleaser in you, it's not something that was created because of an insecurity about self so much as it was created by, I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be happy. Isn't it nice if we all feel happy? But it's all right. It's almost like that has morphed over time here for you into where your happiness doesn't seem to need to be important to some people, maybe. And because of that, yeah, you end up parasited. So I'm gonna do a couple tarot cards. I feel sorry. Well, I don't feel sorry for Aquarius. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't feel. I didn't pull any tarot for Aquarius. It felt like it was gonna water down the reading, which is really funny, right? The air sign represented by water. Queen of your world. That's what you've been working on, Taurus. Queen, king of your world. Oh, the Nine of Swords. Come on. Don't. Why you are. I feel like you think too much about other people. I can't believe I'm saying that. I mean, really. I mean, you know why I sometimes I find it difficult to say these things and like things like that. And just so you understand where I'm coming from, because I'm aware of the world that we live in. And I wouldn't say most, but there's a good percentage of people that are very, very self-involved and absorbed. They either narcissistic, or they just have narcissistic tendencies through habitual habits that have been passed down and things that, you know, okay. So the world is full of that. And I'm really always hesitant to feed into that. People that are like already not very nice to other people. But, you know, so if it's like, I have to remember that I'm not just talking to the average masses out there. I know that these are people doing spiritual work. So I feel a little bit safe in saying, yeah, you shouldn't worry so much. Like, you should really, I don't know, truly believe in yourself. And let's get rid of this parasite. You've been healing the parasite. Oh, the Two of Pentacles. Oh, it's negotiating your dreams and wishes. Negotiating your dreams and wishes. Someone's feeding off you, or a situation is. Maybe even stopping you from harvesting like some type of dream that you'd like to achieve. Your own. No. Right, Nine of Cups is my emotional sovereignty card. So with the Two of Pentacles and the parasite, it's like somebody wants you to make them happy. Atonement. What's starting to blossom? Atonement. How interesting, the Lovers. Well, I feel like these are like big relationships in your life. I feel like you have good karma coming too. If your atonement is the Lovers, you have good karma coming towards you. It's almost like the scales are maybe a little bit out of whack here, too far on one side. But you have to honor yourself to also help, right? Like, Spirit's not going to lift you up to something that you don't believe you deserve. You got to believe, you got to help, you got to elevate that energy, baby. You got to do it too. So the Masquerade is what you're finished working on in the future. Oh my God, the Ten of Swords. I mean, it kind of looks like that Atonement card, right? Pretending to be the one who's hurt, or pretending around the one who's hurt or something. There is a pretend game going on here. Maybe enabling. Betrayal. The Atonement. What is starting to blossom? Atonement. The Lovers. That Atonement looks like the Ten of Swords. Pretending you don't deserve something could be too. Like, you're going to finish working on that. You could also, like, no longer be, if there's some type of, there's something that's happened in your life here that is quite notably painful and difficult. And it's, if there's been any sort of identity attachment to that experience, it's like getting rid of it. So I won't cry for you. What will be healed? The King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Well, that's interesting. So you're not going to cry for someone. Who is this? The King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you developing a strong sense of self. Say with the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. A very strong sense of self. And what is that right now? It's almost like you worry about it. You worry about it. Should I come off this strong? Should I be this confident? Should I, you know, I don't want to come off I don't want to hurt a bit. I'm going to say that I feel like you have a really bright light. And you've probably been in a lot of situations over the years where that bright light was just a little too bright for some people. And so there is probably some sort of consistent and persistent, I'm hearing, energies of people trying to downplay you or push you down. Dim that light. Make you feel ashamed. Maybe there's some type of shame here with the Nine of Swords to be queen of your world. Because I'm not going to cry for you is literally what your new motto is going to be, in that you're going to heal that. And yeah, you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to be. So if you are sometimes kind of like in your head a little bit about how confidently or how bright you should show up in the world, and not with those two energies. Yeah, the King of Swords ain't crying for nobody. All right. And there you go. What will be ready to harvest is the artificial heart. Now, hopefully this isn't like the whole world, and it is, you know, just when you recognize a situation that is not good for you. The Four of Cups and the Knight of Wands. What will be ready to harvest? Tell me the artificial heart first. Okay, tell me the art. I want to know what is that. Okay, the Eight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. See, this is almost like not seeing where the equal give and take is being done here. Not seeing where the equal give and take is being done. I am going to say be a little bit careful with this ready to harvest energy. You don't want, you know, and it could just be stages. To be quite honest, like when we're going through things, if you've been so far this way, sometimes we tend to swing a little bit too far, and then we find ourselves at center again. And that could be that what's showing me here and these cards, because there is a total lack of emotional, and it's any emotional card that we have there is the Four of Cups. So it is kind of feeling like low emotionally. And because of that, not recognizing some of the more higher level emotional opportunities that could be around you. Well, that's interesting. You may have a different focus or reason for what it is that you pursue. Tell me more about the Four of Cups. The Eight of Wands. Okay, so maybe you're trying to move away from that. It is. It's all going to be processed in whatever way it shows up. Like maybe some of you are already kind of going into that. Yeah, there aren't a lot of cup cards. Because even your Nine of Cups is it feels like it's negotiated with the Two of Pentacles right now with what you're healing. So you're trying to negotiate emotional fulfillments, emotional sovereignty. In the future, I feel like you're going to be less emotional towards maybe people or certain situations. Until you know, it could also be that with the Eight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, until you know what the fair and square is between you and something else. All right. Oh, you got the Eight of Cups at the bottom. So yeah, you could be walking away from something that you've decided to no longer invest in. I'm going to go do the extended Taurus. In the extended this week, right? Because we're looking at you now, a snapshot of your energy now, and a snapshot of your energy in the future. So what I'm going to do in the extended is I'm going to look at the in-between energy. And in that, I'm going to ask, what's a personal challenge for you to be aware of as you move into this better energy in the future? What is a distraction that you should also be aware of? And what's an area for you to focus on? So I'm going to do that in the extended. Thank you so much, Taurus. If you would like to go to the extended, there are two options in the description. You can pick the first option, which is access to all of the extendeds through the YouTube membership. Pick the second tier, all extended videos, or you can do a one-time purchase through the link below that. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.